Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Let It Die. So you got the Stamp Rally open here, and it's in the My Collections tab of the, what's this thing called? Underworld Rolodex, yeah, I forget. Anyway, you can flick between the tiers by pressing the by manipulating the right analog stick. That's something I didn't notice until until much later in the game. I just used to open that thing and hope it was on the right tier. But yeah, it's got some pretty cool artwork on it. So we'll be filling it out a little bit in the next episode, but today's episode is going to be some progress, hopefully. There's one thing. Well, actually, I'll go on about the stamps and the stamp rally in the next episode. Right. So we should be ready to get going. I'm just going to change my decals because these are not available to everyone at this state of the game. You'd have to be lucky with your rolls, with your mushroom stews, I guess. She perked up quickly.
Hello, Fever, the power of the mushroom.
Anyway, I think I'll be using the Marathon Runner decal and also the Firefighter decal. Now, those can be annoying mushrooms, annoying decals to get, because the Marathon Runner costs 2 silver mushrooms, which you have, so I could purchase this if I wanted to. But the problem with non-premium decals is when you change them, they're gone for good, as I've already mentioned in an earlier episode. So getting a premium decal is good on many levels because it's also a removable and re-stickable decal. So for instance, Superhero, I can safely remove this by pressing triangle and I can replace it.
Are you sure?
The decal doesn't get removed, it doesn't get destroyed on removal, which is a good thing about premiums.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Are you 100% sure?
1000% sure. Okay, so I'm actually going to use a setup that I very much enjoy using in the Candle Wolf zone. Going to be using Firefighter, and there it is. Got the premium and non-premium version, so I'll be using the premium so we can peel it off and change it, swap it around as much as we want without having to repurchase it.
Are you sure?
And I'll be using Sprinter, although I'll not be using the Sprinter. I'll be peeling the Marathon Runner off of our other fighter. Come on, let me out. Let me go. Release me. Okay, so quickly go to the other fighter, and the fighter freezer, our collector. There you are. You can, if you choose the third option, you've got fighter settings. You can take a look at their death bag. You can equip items or throw them away. Only equipable items can be thrown away. You cannot do anything with non-equipable items, resources and consumables and the like. You can access the storage chest, you can store the items they have in their bags. You can take out items from the storage chests, put them on this fighter. You can change the name. You can also change skill decals, and that's what we're looking at. So remove the Marathon Runner, you peel it off by pressing triangle. So off you go. You can stay like that. The game's saving this change with the rolling dung beetle, and we'll exit the thingamajig. Go back to Momoko and plop this decal on this fighter. So this is our striker. The other fighters in the freezer are our collectors. Now,
Are you 100% sure?
for Candle Wolf Zone in particular, it's
Without mushrooms, there is no glory. There is nothing. There's no love. Nothing makes sense.
yeah. For Candle Wolf Zone in particular, I'm just showing you the setup before we leave the tower. Picking up you know, healthy weapons and armor. This armor's okay. You know, I'm probably gonna lose it quickly, but hey. Healthy weapons. Do I have any? Yeah, I'll pick up you guys. Should be fine. Bring 1 or 2 mushrooms with you. Recover mushroom. Rage recovery mushroom. Do I have any? How much of these? I think I'll consume 1 silver snowcap to recover some durability before we head off. So yeah, we're on a striker, and that's because the game actually takes a huge step up in difficulty from Candlewolf onwards. And yeah, the collectors are not cutting it for damage. We're taking too many hits to defeat the enemies on the floors. So as you can see, the weapons using are actually really strong. Damn, this guy doesn't have enough stamina to even equip the motorcycle. How much stamina have you got? 241. Well then, that's unlucky. Guess I'll good thing I noticed it right now. Anyway, consume some of these mushrooms. If you've got a durability restore item like a fun fungus or the season events silver snowcaps, you have to make sure you've got equipped and active the weapons that you want to restore durability. Now if you're using a two-handed weapon, the weapon in the opposite hand will be inactive. The weapon actually has to be highlighted to take effect for the durability recovery. So have a look at the armor set. The hat is at half durability. Eat this silver snowcap. Om nom nom nom. Boom. You can already notice the weapon on the left side took a huge chunk of green bar refilling. The green bar under the weapon icon that shows how what the state of the weapon is. The black bar encroaching on the green bar shows its degradation. So the hat, just about fully healthy now. All the other armor bits are okay too. So come back here and get rid of this useless weapon that won't work for us because we don't meet the requirements. Which can happen every now and then. You got fighters that are strong in certain stats and weak in other stats. And I guess stamina is a weaker stat of the striker, unfortunately. Dexterity as well. I guess we could take the bloody pitching machine instead. Okay, and another drill arm. Do I have kill points to take to make a new drill arm? Right, I'll have a look at the reward box. See if we've got a low number somewhere around here that I can steal from our treasure chest. 122,000, that's not a low number. These are not low numbers. Well, I'll just take 50,000 then, why not? Let me out. Everything you see me doing now I could have done between episodes, but I think it's a good idea to show, you know, the kind of preparation you need just about every time you plan to go and make some progress up the tower. Or mostly just want to do anything. Because unlike other games, Let It Die actually gets progressively harder, and it stays harder than other games. Like you'd go to the low areas in any other kind of RPG game, and you'd expect to be able to completely dominate your opponents. But the one shark in the sea, as I sometimes refer to them, would be the hater. Now you always have to have decent gear or a disregard for personal safety equipped if you're going up the tower, no matter which floor, because the hater will ruin your day if you don't pay them any mind. We use the pervy scope to get some quests. Awesome, some quests completed. I don't even remember which ones they are. What have we got here? Anything we can pick up and do? Defeat the jackals? Yeah, that'll happen. 20 beasts in the tower, golden pillbug, sharing shroom. Nope, nothing I'm interested in.
Different day.
Yeah, I know, right? Anyway, let's see. Yeah, I think we're just about prepared, as prepared as we can be. And yeah, I think we're good to go. So off we go, finally, leaving this waiting room. Man, it's been like forever that we've been in here. Anyway, got a couple of things on us. So, Candle Wolf, the enemies are super tough. You have to upgrade. Should I mention this? Yeah, I think I'll go over this quickly. If you're ever curious as to if you're prepared for an area, the grade of materials, the grade of armor and weapons the enemies drop is the upgrade level that your weapon should be at if you're dealing with a particular area. So we're in Candle Wolf. I feel like deja vu. I feel like I've mentioned this somewhere before in the Let's Play. Anyway, I'll go over it again. Candle Wolf is the third area of the tower, the third set of 10 floors. So you need a 3-star weapon and 3-star armor to say you're prepared for the area. You can go with lower, but you should know that you're risking serious harm if you do. Anyway, up we go. Floor Arcani, and hoping to progress higher, although, hold on, just realized further floors would lead us to bosses, so I should probably bring mushrooms to prepare for the bosses. Alright, so what have we got? Anyway, are these decals set up right for a boss? I don't have access to that many attack increasing decals at this stage of the game anyway, so I guess just being on, as you can tell, at the mid top right, just above the portrait, I guess, of our character, you can tell the name and the class Striker. Yeah, that's what you want to be if you want to take out bosses easily. Oh yeah, these things. Ooh, look at that shiny. Anyway, I collected a couple of things, mostly from chargers between episodes, and I'm gonna show off all these. I think in the next episode, because that's gonna take some time. Anyway, pick up a couple more important offensive things. I'm not gonna use any mushrooms you wouldn't have access to in this area, so I'm gonna bring these grilled red sting shrooms. Always important, always handy. I'm gonna bring vampire fungus. Do I have a vampire fungus? Please tell me I do. I've got one. Okay, cool. One grilled vampire fungus. I should definitely have a lot of those. Do we have the bar meat half portion? I'm gonna bring that just in case we don't find any beasties to cook and eat. That should do, maybe, possibly. We'll see. Should be fine, should be fine. We've got a cat eye shroom. Might as well bring one of those. Okay. Should be more than enough. Unfortunately, we can't use the motor Psycho because we've upgraded it so far that its stamina requirements is more than the stamina we have on this Striker, which is unfortunate because I know I did a video overpowered boss killing recently, or at least it's been uploaded recently, and yeah, unfortunately one of our favorite boss killing weapons is no longer possible on our level of Striker that we have. Oh, here we go. Here goes nothing. Actually, I've got 55,000 kill coins. Why? I was probably planning to buy a drill arm, a fresh drill arm, rank 4. Well damn. Anyway, there's a couple of weapons you have access to at this stage of the game that you could use to defeat bosses with. You could go nuts and use the Death Burner Iron, an upgrade of the second form of the arm. You've got access to those materials if you, if you're lucky with the hernia machine or the TDM rewards or the weekly seasonal quests. You've got the Cleaver Saber. I'm just gonna have a quick look at the weapon thingamajig's. Collection, mastery. Where's mastery? Where the hell's mastery? Oh, there it is. Mastery level. So a couple of weapons I'd recommend for boss killing at this stage of the game. Where are you? There it is. The saber, or cleaver saber. That's a weapon blueprint you'll find in this area. Let's see, what else have you got? The Death Burner Iron, upgrade from the iron, if you know, are lucky enough to have the materials to upgrade it. The Drill Arm is a very strong weapon for this stage of the game. You'll find that from the Chemical Agent Charger, the guys in the white suits in Ensemble Jackson area. And of course the Motor Psycho, or Motor Psycho, which is also a Candle Wolf found blueprint weapon. Bear in mind the blueprint for Motor Psycho and possibly the Saber are only available from floors 25 and over. So don't try and find those blueprints from 21 to 25, you won't have much luck. But generally speaking, the higher floor you look for things, the better chance of finding higher, well, more damaging weapons and more defensive armor, the more chance you have. Hello. Yeah, shit. Exactly what I was thinking. Taking that armor durability damage from an unarmed opponent. How embarrassing. Excuse me. Now I'm not going to bother picking up any resources besides massive iron. I'll only be able to pick up a handful of massive iron because we're on our striker, not our collector. Correct. Wheezy Marathon Runner. Now I wouldn't recommend you put this on your tier 4 fighter because the floor 30 and over are once you break into floor 30, the Sprinter and Marathon Runner will become much less useful. They're really only useful in Candle Wolf. So by all means, if you're still progressing slowly through Candle Wolf, you can make good use of these blueprints. But 30 and onwards, you wouldn't. Don't need that. Beep. Oh, mines. Mind the mines. So as you can tell, we're running out of stamina quickly because we're not a collector. We don't have much stamina. We're a striker. But the good thing about Marathon Runner and Sprinter decals is that you don't have to worry about losing all your stamina. In fact, it can be quicker to recover your heartbeat if you run out the whole your entire stamina bar. If you expend your heartbeat or your you know, your hidden stamina bar in Let It Die, you'll actually more quickly recover at the end of your sprints after your stamina is spent than if you, as I often do otherwise, make short bursts of sprinting and then recover and then do more short bursts of sprinting. Like let's say usually I'll sprint like this, and then when I see the heart getting red or purple, I'll stop for a while, I'll walk, and I'll carry on sprinting. And if you're not using a sprinter decal, that's probably the best way of sorting it, of recovering stamina while running. But if you're wearing a sprinter or a marathon runner, it actually mentions rate at which stamina decreases during dash and fatigue time decreased by 50%. Dash time is obvious, but fatigue time, that means after you've lost your stamina. If you do too many rolls, you lose your stamina and your fighter is fatigued. As you can see, the recovery is much quicker than it would usually be. It's decreased by 50%. Also, these marathon runner and sprinters stack. Marathon runner, it's a 50% decrease. So if you have two marathon runners, premium and non-premium, you can effectively run forever, which I probably showed off somewhere. Maybe on this let's play off you. How dare you? I don't even know if I should pick this up. Well, I definitely shouldn't because it's the one blueprint I've already got. But anyway, oh guys, come on. What are you gonna do without weapons? Seriously? It's gonna waste my time. And get stabbed to death. Twins. Anyway, yeah, probably not gonna get any kills in on this episode for bosses. We'll be searching. We're trying to reach Shimimeno or Oshimi. I think I'll start off with Oshimi. I believe that's the Koen floor. Shimimeno would be the Jindai floor. There's two mid-bosses blocking our way, and I think Koen is the easier one of the two to deal with, to make progress through here. Now, I believe the up escalator, as you can see on the outer edges of either floor, the left one being green and the right one being purple, those are probably guarded by the boss themselves, so you'd have to get through the boss to go up. And the other locked gates, I think defeating either boss will will unlock the locked gates on the opposite end. So I'm guessing defeating Oshimi's boss will unlock the green up escalator from Shimimeno. Just a guess. I'm not 100% sure anymore. It's been a while. Hello guys. Well, I'm sure we've been here before looking for resources. But you know, you generally memorize where resources spawn after playing the game for a while. So you know just about where to turn your gaze when farming for resources. Of course you have the treasure hunter decal, but honestly, it's a crutch. You should figure out how to get through the game without it. I mean, if you're lucky enough to get the treasure hunter early game, that would be insane, since it's supposed to be a reward for getting through the 40 floors, I'd say. Isn't it? Isn't that how you get it? I think so. Anyway, we're really just looking for up green now. There's no point in collecting anything. Oh, there's up green. Just gonna have a quick look at the previous room we came from, because there's usually beasts and mushrooms around here, and we've got a whatchamacallit, fireworks launcher on us, which is a beast cooker. Okay, here's a mushroom. Have a look at the map. See if we can find any beasts. There's sometimes beasts in this corner. Not this time though. Over here, nothing. I can hear bats. There's a beast nearby. There he is. Boom. Cooked dragon. Pick you up. Pew. Cook you. Now, excuse me. A fire source is very useful cooking the highest grade beasts. Turtles are always a pain in the ass, but lizards, and later in the game we'll also find birds, those are very fun to pick up after cooking with a fire weapon, because they won't fight back when you pick them up after they've been cooked, which makes them much easier to deal with, because otherwise they take multiple stomps to pick up normally when they're still alive, and birds will ruin your day. They'll kick your ass. So it's very good to have a fire source with you if you're planning on picking up this highest grade of beast. Pew! But also just progressing through the game itself. Low game, countering the poison snails with fire, with the fireworks launcher in general. Stay out of the poison cloud, shoot the snail from a distance, Bob's your uncle, they're cooked, you got a nice meal, and you don't get poisoned. All in all, a win-win situation. It took me a while to find out how easy snails were to deal with. I used to lament going through the lowest floors with snails in them. I considered them to be a trap you had no way of dealing with. I I would go and try and pick them up and get poisoned. It was terrible. I think after like one of the first couple of mid bosses, you get a poisoned floor, and it's got no fire source on it, but a bunch of poisoned snails. And I'm thinking, damn, I could pick these up and use them as healing, but I can't even cook them, so they're not going to be good healing. But yeah, then I think I saw some guide or something, or someone with a good video on tips and stuff. And then, yeah, they mentioned bringing a fireworks launcher to cook those buggers. Alright, come on, man. Give you a poke. Oh, I'll bring you over here. Fighting enemies with fire swords in water means they won't catch fire, because the water will put out the fire once you get hit. So if you're having trouble dealing with these blighters, you can sit in the fire. But also, I just noticed now we're wearing the firefighter decal, which decreases duration of continuous damage taken when on fire. If we get hit by a fire weapon, this will give us 1 tick of fire damage, and then we'll take no longer any ticks of fire damage. So that's firefighter decals. Sprinter decals are really good for Candlewolf Zone because of the amount of enemies using fire weapons and the long ass zones. Yeah, the Candlewolf zones are probably the longest open areas that you'll be running continuously, trying to get places. So I can't think of anywhere more effective to have sprinters and marathon runners. So we're well on our way to finding a boss, but we're not there yet. I'm just gonna ignore you guys. Oh damn, I cannot ignore you guys. Come on then. Drill man. Drill lady. It's actually a female. Come on. Wow. Actually, have a quick look at my list. Is there anything special about this floor? 26th floor, Yoshimi. Nope. Nothing special about this floor. Right. Never mind. Continuing on. Gotta keep our eyes peeled for the tails from the barbs and stamp machines and such. Hello? Ah. Range weapons are pretty good to deal with the hovering tubers, actually. Just dodge their barrage and hit them with the counter attack. The pitching machine is a really good range weapon for those fighters who are not shooter class, because it requires strength to wield. If your favorite class is a melee dude or a gal, you can you can use this as a good ranged option. You know, having a range damage source can help in some situations. Like this one, for instance, going up against hovering tubers. They're much easier to deal with range weapons than melee weapons, because you'll often hit under. Since they're hovering, you'll hit under them. You won't score a hit. You'll not hit under them. You'll miss. So yeah, that bone tuber. Best way to counter bone tuber. Quickly get behind them, give them a punch. They're dead. They can only defend in front of them. Anyway, we're on our way to the boss. We'll get there this episode. Running out of time, unfortunately, so we'll be defeating the boss in the next one. So see you all then.